Do-do-do-do-do. Hey, what's going on, everybody? All right. We've got a few seconds. There we go. 9 o'clock on the dot. Cheers to that. Cheers to that, everybody. All right. So, very interesting stuff, right? Very interesting stuff that took place with that bear trap. I made a bunch of videos. I didn't even go out of the house yesterday. That was bad. Okay. I did a bunch of tutorials on YouTube. You can see them all on YouTube and posted in the private Facebook group for you guys. The bear trap setup, very successful yesterday. We scaled out of that position. And what did it do, right? It pulled back into that high time frame trend cloud, which I said those are the only two things that it could possibly do, right? Good morning, Frank. Good to see you. So there you go, right? It went, hit our bear trap and went all the way back up to our curve zone here. And then what did it do? It broke through, and I actually watched all of it take place and recorded little bits and pieces of it. Broke through. And what is this big green area down here, guys? That is your high time frame. That's your high time frame trend cloud. That is your high time frame. Oops, that's the 1 hour chart. Right here. Okay, take a close look. See it right in here? There's your trend cloud on the high time frame. And all we did was box it out just like that. And that's where we're at. Now, another little trick you can do is you can double click onto the middle time frame trend cloud there, and you can use the 4 hour trend cloud just by doing this. You can use that 4 hour trend cloud on your 1 hour chart. So now you can see, oh, okay, we're in the 4 hour trend cloud. What is the expected reaction when you get price pulling back into the trend cloud, right? The move up, right? You get that move up. That's how it moves. Correction into the trend cloud, right? Impulse up. Correction into the trend cloud, impulse up, right? Now, what is the one caveat to that price action specifically, to that specific price action movement? When the trend becomes extended, right? And we can see here, right here, let's just move that up there. There's our bear trap. The trend is in the fifth wave. That's the average wave in a trend. So what does price like to do when it becomes extended? It likes to pull back below that 50 simple line in the sand right there and recalculate. So as of right now, it's very possible that this wants to continue down below the 50 so that it can recalculate. So we're kind of in no man's land now. There's too many variables. In this situation. If we were back here and we said, okay, we had this impulse up, we've pulled back into the trend cloud. This is the fourth wave. We've got at least one more to go. Let's go for it. So as that cycle indicator starts to turn up right here, and we start getting this impulse move, we can start dropping down to the 1 hour chart to see, do we have a strong upward trend? Is CCI above positive 100? Yes. Okay, good. Go to the 15-minute chart. Is the 15-minute chart in an uptrend? Are we getting trend cloud signals? Do we see very specific demand zones and start taking the trades? Okay, that is the procedure. So when you're in this type of situation where you have an extra variable, right? Well, we know that this is the expected move. However, candles are extended, which means it could come down here and start recalculating, because that is what it wants to do. And there's a whole bunch of terrible news out right now on the NASDAQ and the S&P. Let's go take a look. And it's so crazy, guys. Hey, good morning, Kazi. Good to see you. It's so crazy to see, guys. Like, look at this news. S&P and NASDAQ futures lower as big tech results fail to impress. Wow. No kidding. Really? That came out at 8:24 Eastern. Okay. Guys, we already knew. Look, it's right here. It's right here. They don't know what they're talking about. We know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Look at this. We've gone fifth wave. We've gone 5 waves. The trend is cycling down with momentum down. Okay. That's all the news we need to figure out what's going on here. The trend is also extended, which means we're expecting a pretty deep pullback into this area. And what do we have here? Well, we've got a market edge, don't we? Let's box it out. TrendCloud already put the line for us. Hey, here's the market edge. Look at me. Okay. So it's like we know the situation. Here's, if you drew a box that sort of encompassed these bottom basing candles here, this drop, base, base, base. These are all basing candles, actually, because here's the top, right? So this whole area here, to be honest with you, this whole area on the 4-hour chart, this is all basing candles, but we know that we're shooting for something below the 50 simple. Isn't that interesting? So that's probably where it wants to go. We've seen this thousands of times. I guarantee you they haven't. The people on the news, they have no idea about this stuff. So the technicals are the fundamentals are bundled into the technical analysis. And, mass psychology of people. Did you, for those of you who went to Online Trading Academy, when you ever went, if you ever go to an Online Trading Academy, like in-house class, like you actually go to the school and maybe one of your favorite instructors are there and you want to you want to hang out and talk to them and just take a class in-house. Tell me about the people. Yeah, Gary, right? Okay. Tell me about the people in the audience there, Gary. And Kazi, you too. I know you went there as well. They don't, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. They don't know anything and they've been there for years. It is incredible. It's incredible. And I'm like, oh, you're retaking it next week? You're taking a class? That's awesome. Yeah, I really like going, but it's so bizarre. The people in the audience, they don't even ask questions that are relevant. It's the most bizarre thing in the world. It really is. It really is bizarre. But it's always so surprising to me. But anyway, That is what's going on in the news. And so when people who really don't know what they're doing listen to the news and they see these crazy articles, they really react off of them. And that's good for us. That's good for us because it'll just be a catalyst. It'll just be a catalyst for this move down, into around this area. And then we can start looking for the patterns to take place on the lower time frames. And what's the pattern, guys? Right? The pattern is boom, this. As soon as we get this on the lower time frames, right? When we start seeing that on the lower time frames, when we're inside of the curve zone, then we can start, we can start applying our TrendCloud system, right? Because then we're going to start seeing those TrendCloud signals appear on like the 15 and 5-minute chart, right? So very, very interesting stuff. All right. So right now you can see the 1 hour chart here. 1 hour chart. Whoops. There we go. Here's the 1 hour chart with the 4 hour trend cloud. So Gary, you see how I did that? I went in here on the 1 hour chart and I just unchecked these two chart resolution and I put 4 hour. This way we can see that pullback into the 4 hour trend cloud. And sometimes we just like to, we just like that visual. We just like having that. So it pulls back, we're in there, and we are expecting it to break through all of that as well. But yesterday, my goodness, that bear trap worked out very well. Put everything back. The bear trap worked out very well yesterday, and we captured the movement in here. It was quite short-lived. Candle started turning blue here on the high time frame, and that's when this thing completely collapsed, right? Oh yeah, sure, Gary. So so the reason why I put the 4 hour trend cloud on the 1 hour chart was because I wanted to see this. Let me get rid of, all right, we can get rid of all this now. So Gary, right here, 4 hour trend cloud, right? 4 hour trend cloud, we can box it out like this. Whoops. We can either box it out like this and say, okay, here's the 4 hour trend cloud so that it appears on the lower time frames like this. And if we wanted to, you can double click onto the 1 hour trend cloud, uncheck the boxes here for chart resolution, right? And you can put the 4 hour trend cloud, right? You would just go on here and click 4 hour on both of these. And now you've got the 4 hour trend cloud on the 1 hour chart. And there's your box right there. So maybe you don't want to draw a box, right? Maybe you don't want to draw a box. You just want to put that 4 hour trend cloud on the 1 hour chart to see this picture. And that's what you would do. Okay. And then you just click it like that and put it back. It's just for a visual effect, right? So you can see where you're pulling back into. Because that's what we were saying yesterday, right? We were saying, okay, we've got on that opening range, right? We were looking at the opening range from yesterday. We were looking at that opening range from yesterday. That's today. Here's yesterday. There we go. So right here's the opening range, and we had this we had this demand zone here, right in here. On the on the on the breakout, right? Opening range, we had a demand zone, momentum and trend were to the upside. And so what happened? It pulled back into that demand zone right here and made a really nice move. It made a move all the way up to back up to the curve zone. And Kazi did a great video on curve, and that is on the private Facebook group right there. You know, we don't have to get fancy with it, right? We're just going to box out the top of those of that move there. And that's what it did. It came up into here, and now we're in this situation. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay. This was yesterday. I'm sorry. So this was the day before, and it looks like the same thing happened. Right back up to here. And then I believe yesterday it broke below, pulled into, yeah, this is what happened yesterday. I'm sorry. Wow, that's so cool. The same thing happened yesterday. The same exact thing happened yesterday. Here was our bear trap. Upward trend, momentum was up here. And what happened? It broke to the upside, hit that curve zone, pulled back, and we had all that momentum. All those buyers were in here. It pushed it right back up to the curve zone. And during this process, and it ended, we actually saw it starting to go sideways, right? It was going sideways, and we ended up taking profits at target 1, and then it pulled back really deep and stopped us out, right? And it looks like this. So there's our target 1 was $135, and then we were going to follow the rest of the move. We were going to follow the rest, that one last contract, we were going to follow it to the moon, right? And that didn't happen. The moon didn't happen. It pulled back and stopped us out at a little bit more than the entry, right? Stopped us out just above the entry. So there you go. And then what it did was it broke through the bear trap, right? Broke through that bear trap, went sideways, and we're still kind of just going sideways here. We are still going sideways here. So that is what's going on right now. Okay, so it's showing up. Everything is showing up in our scanning system. Looks like we do still have market sentiment here to the upside. Crude oil is in our scanner for a downward move. Let's take a look at crude oil. Okay. All right. So crude oil extended trend, right? Let's clear everything. Crude oil extended trend to the upside. We've got this pseudo downtrend here. Cross to the downside, and now it's starting to break above the 50 in a downtrend. Okay. Five-minute opening range. Let's take a look. So we got the 5-minute opening range. So look at the setup here. All right. Crude oil is in our supply zone column, which means we're looking for which means we have a 15-minute downtrend, okay? And momentum is down on the 1-hour chart. That's why it's in here, okay? We have to apply that to our strategy now. So we go over to the opening range, and we're getting this breakout to the upside. We got a whole, what's the mixed signals that we're looking at here? First of all, 15-minute downtrend with momentum down on the 1-hour chart, and this is breaking out to the upside. So right away, we're thinking bull trap, right? Bull trap. And we've got this right here, right? Let's extend that to the right, and we're going to make it red. Okay, so where are we at here with that? All right, it's pulling it's breaking to the upside right into that's a 5-minute supply zone. Okay, so 5-minute supply zone with a 15-minute downtrend and a 1-hour momentum going down. This right here, this type of 1-hour trend. Hey, good morning, Mariana. Good morning. Good to see you. This type of 1-hour trend where you've got the trend cloud is red, you've got a crossover to the downside, but price is still breaking above the 50. That type of a trend is very indicative of sideways movement. So it's I call it like a pseudo downtrend, right? It's got to look like this, right, guys? Like a good trend doesn't break below the 50 simple. It stays up here inside of that trend cloud. That's what we really, right? We like this, right? This is the stuff we like to work with. It's very important that you guys identify a good-looking trend. Right, this one went right to the 50 and then up. Okay, now we break below. Candles start turning red, and we made this little move. Right, made this move down. Okay, fine, no problem. Rips back up. Okay, this we don't like. Right, we don't like working with that. And now we broke back down, and now it's breaking back above that, that trend cloud. And here's your look at how those trend cloud signals, right? See how those trend cloud signals make like a straight line? No good. We don't like that. We don't like that. What if we yeah. When we see that, you can actually take a box and you can actually draw it out like this. Say, okay, and make it gray. All right, so we're consolidating. We're in this consolidation on the higher time frames, and look what it looks like on the 5-minute chart. On the 5-minute, look at the size of this consolidation here. So it's going all the way up and then all the way back down and all the way up, all the way. That throws a real monkey wrench into your trend cloud system because trend cloud is momentum based. All right. So it's important if you're using a momentum based trading system like trend cloud, you have to sort of learn to identify consolidation on the higher time frames. Because if this is what's going on the higher time frames, like the 1-hour chart is clearly consolidating, and trend cloud is telling you, it's like, hey man, look, see these plus symbols? See how they're lined up in a straight line? Yeah, man, Yeah, we don't like that. So it's kind of telling you what the deal is. And we're also, we're trying to recalculate on the high time frame. We're trying to recalculate on that 4-hour chart, and we're consolidating. So as tempting as it is to make some observations and take those pieces of information and try to shove it into TrendCloud, it's best to wait for a direction first and then start using your TrendCloud technology, trade plan. All of these observations are very important because you have to know what type of environment you should be using a momentum-based trading system, and when you should simply be taking the supply and demand zones of this consolidation, if that's what you want to do. You also see this. I don't know if Krishnan is in here today, but check out the Australian dollar. Australian dollar has a very clear example. Let me show you here. Let's recalculate everything. Look at what the Australian dollar does. Oh, gold is working out? Oh, wow. Oh, man. All right, well, let's take a look at gold. But sideways consolidation, right? Good example on the Australian dollar. Consolidation, extreme low to extreme high, back down to extreme low, break. Now we have a nice trend. Correction into the trend cloud, impulse up, right? All the way to an extended trend and complete trend reversal. Consolidation, right? Consolidation, breakout of consolidation, continues down, consolidation. So look how we're going here. It did it again today. Pulled back down to that lower part of the consolidation, breaking back up. Okay, so if you want to follow Australian dollar, get used to this pattern. That's the observation. All right, let's go over and look at gold. Kazi's in gold. Okay, so upward trend, 4-hour chart, right? Cycling up, momentum is up. Good. Go to the 1-hour chart. Upward trend, momentum is up, broke above positive 200. Okay, we're heading towards this ADR level here. Good target. Gold, we're using the 15-minute opening range. And we have a breakout of the opening range. We could still get in on the retest of this opening range, but looks like Kazi took some kind of 15-minute or 5-minute. There you go. Okay. 5-minute trend cloud signal right here. Nice little demand zone as well, right in here. Looks like we got a zone on top of a zone. Let's take a closer look at that, because we might be able to take a setup here on the retest. And it actually did retest already. Retested and just took off. 5-minute. Okay. 5 contracts. 3 out at a 1-to-1. Okay, so Kazi got risk-free at 1-to-1. 5 contracts, took off 3. Right. Yeah. So you see what he did, guys? He took the trend cloud signal, and the trend cloud signal right here. Here's your entry, and yeah, that's and then here's your stop loss, like right here. Okay. So yeah, so just about like 1-to-1, right? See that, guys? That's what he did right there. And he took off that 3 contracts there at a 1-to-1, because we are we're fighting, right? We're fighting. We're starting to get very close to this here. We're starting to get very close. Look at how close on the 1-hour chart that ADR level is to this kind of right here, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're getting kind of close. We'll make this green. So there you go. Hopefully we get a breakthrough. But on the 4-hour chart, whoops, on the 4-hour chart, you can see that market edge. That's why I put that line there, that purple line on that swing. Okay, so we'll see. So we could get a pullback, another pullback, right? Maybe it wants to pull back into this area here, but we are getting close to that. We still have a good, I mean, that's a good distance from here all the way up to here. Oh, and what else do we have here? We've got a few levels of resistance up here, right? Previous day's high. Okay, heading towards that previous day's high, right in the middle of this 4-hour curve zone. And we got the 100% of its average daily range sitting right up there. So nice move. It is in an uptrend. I love that we're cycling up, right? So we are in the middle of this impulse move to the upside, and a very sharp, look at how sharp the slope is on that momentum filter. That is also something that you can look for, a very sharp upward movement on the momentum filter. And look at the strength. I mean, the CCI indicator is telling us very strong momentum, okay? And I'm sure it's still cycling up as well on the 1-hour. Yeah. Cycle up, small pullback, cycling up. So as long as that cycle indicator sort of does like this and stays above that gray bar, you got yourself a very strong upward movement. By the way, the alert is working out. Yeah, took a crude oil trade. Oh, really? Oh my gosh, that's exciting. Now that's exciting because that's exactly what we were talking about, where you can set the alert up and have it hit, at night. Sometimes it's like 7:30 or so, around 7 o'clock, 7:30 at night. And nice. Yeah. And it's nice to wake up and then you take a trade, you leave it alone, and then you wake up and it's money in the bank. That's why I'm having a meeting today, guys. Today at 1 o'clock, I'm having a meeting with a programmer who might be able to automate TrendCloud for us. And then you'd be able to set that up and just let it run all night. and it's going to do this. Okay. So I'm pretty hopeful. It's going to be a really good. It's going to be a really good meeting. It's going to be a really good meeting. That's 1:00 today, and then tomorrow at 1:00 we're going to be interviewing Brandon Wendell, who is a CMT, and we're going to talk about chartered market technician, what it takes to go through those classes, how much it costs, and just have a great conversation. We're just gonna wing it, and we're just gonna have a good conversation for about an hour and talk about technical analysis. And we're gonna show Brandon TrendCloud and see what he says. It'll be very, very cool to get his opinion. And we're gonna talk about his new company and where he's at and where he's working. So it's going to be a great conversation tomorrow. Question for Brandon. Yeah, how hard is the exam? Yeah, and how much does it relate to what we learned at OTA, right? We are going to get into all of that for sure. I believe the exam is multiple choice, Kazi. I believe it's multiple choice. So it's probably a lot of theory questions. Well, hey man, gold is working out nice. So we are heading. Let's see, what could we do here? Wow, it didn't really even pull back. It didn't even really pull back. Go out to the 15-minute. This thing just took off. So do you see how, what did I do? There we go. Yeah, those 5-minute TrendCloud signals worked out nice on gold today. We're heading right into that high time frame. Okay, there's the market edge. There's the market edge on the 1-hour chart. Nice. I love seeing that follow through. We might be heading, so we might be heading for that. Kazi, where do you have your stop loss now? Right, a little bit above break even. A little bit above break even. Entry. Stop loss is really here, but right now it's probably here, right above the purple line. Oh, I gotcha. Okay. So yeah, look at that. Looks like it's going to rip through. We might hit that ADR checkpoint, which is also previous day's high. Right there, heading for it. That's a real nice target. If you've got, what do you got, 2 contracts left? If you have like 2 contracts left, yeah, take off the other 2. Or you can, or no, yeah, 2. You have 2 contracts left, so maybe, yeah. So I don't know. Take off 1 here for sure, right? And then just trail the last one with your stop loss, right? Just trail that last contract with your stop loss. I'm sure we'll get some kind of reaction off of that ADR checkpoint. But that's awesome. That is awesome. These ADR checkpoints really, they are so useful. They are super useful to put on the chart, because in situations like this, You always have to have a reference point for where you are on the map, right? It's just like if you're looking at a map, you really have to have a reference point as to where you are. You are here. Okay. Now I can, um, put it into context as to where I am. Yeah, excellent for targets, right? Yeah, excellent for targets. Well, we'll see here. We'll see here what happens. And market sentiment was to the upside today, right? Because here we are, right? Here we are. Market sentiment to the upside. There it is. Gold is right in there. And there's your signal. Wow, never pulled back. So I think this is what 2 micro gold as well. Oh, nice. Gary got into micro gold. Gary got into micro gold as well. Awesome. And what is it? Up 10 to 1 or up 10? That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys are using what you learned, making it your own, and you're starting to see the context of this stuff. Like, oh, okay, let me see. Three micro accounts. Yeah, 3 micro contracts. Nice. Yeah, he's got 3 micro contracts on there. Yeah, nice. That's awesome. So you're looking at up 100 up $108. Hey man, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Consistency, right? It's all about consistency. It's all about seeing that green, right? With a couple of red splatters here and there. But that's what it's all about. So, if you could see the context of the trade, because TrendCloud is a real guide, it's a real objective system. You take any objective system or strategy. There it is. There it is. There it is. Nice. All out. Yep. Yeah. Great. Yep. Very nice. Very nice. It'd be interesting to see what what the reaction is here. Oh, well, it kind of makes sense, I guess, right? Because whenever you get bad news, Kazi with the money bag. Whenever you get bad news about the S&P, the Nasdaq, that kind of triggers buyers of gold, right? That kind of triggers the gold buyers. And there you go. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens here. Damn, I wish I was in on this. That is what yeah, so we're going to see some kind of reaction. So you see this candle. This is a 5-minute candle that we're looking at, right? So we're really looking at some real sensitive. Okay, so here's your 15-minute candle and what that looks like. 15-minute candle is still very bullish, right? And that scored a 9 on the scoreboard. Heading for that ADR checkpoint. And do you see how our cycle indicator, right, on that 1-hour chart is staying above the gray bar? right? I mean, you can clearly see we're above positive 200. We're above positive 200 on CCI. That should tell you everything. Look at the sharpness of that upward movement on your high time frame momentum filter. Look at that. Nice. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Gary got risk-free, stop loss, $75. So if this thing reverses, you've got $75. If it keeps going, then you just keep moving that stop loss, right? Follow it every 2 candles on that 5-minute chart. Yes. The money hand. The money hand. So yeah. So that's the name of the game, isn't it, guys? Getting risk-free. Getting risk-free on those charts. And there it is. Oh, there it is. We hit that ADR checkpoint. Wow. I really wish I was in this trade. I really wish I was in this trade. So, how did we know this stuff? How did we know this? We've got an objective system that has little checkpoints on the map for us. Where are you now? We're right here. Okay. Well, what does this usually do? Well, it usually climbs like impulse, pull back into TrendCloud, impulse, pull back into TrendCloud, impulse. Okay. We know that that's what it does. Take the context of that movement and apply it to a strategy, right? You can apply that strategy, or you can apply that TrendCloud movement to many different strategies, right? Especially supply and demand, and the number one most visual, the most visual TrendCloud signal that you can apply to supply and demand is probably that extended trend, right? You see a TrendCloud extended trend inside of a supply zone. Like you're going up, you become extended, and you look left and you see this supply zone here. That's very powerful. Maybe there's an ADR checkpoint now running through it. Whoa. That is what you look for on some type of trend reversal, right? When you start stacking all your observations that you make together, you will come up with one heck of a trade plan. You will come up with one heck of a trade plan. And that's what it's all about. Simon, I don't know if Simon's here, but I'm still working on that trade plan. I'm finishing that today, the trade plan video, how to take your observations and turn them into if-then statements. Okay, I think that's always a good lesson to go over. 15-minute candle now, looking quite bearish. ADR concept, yes. So ADR, average daily range, right? Every instrument, every instrument moves, a certain amount every day. And with the ADR checkpoints here, so we can now say that gold has moved its average daily range, and here's 100% of it. This is 100%. It moved 100% of its average daily range. This number right here, this 42%, this was really cool. This now tells us you have a 42% chance to get to this level. So you have a 42% chance that price goes to 125% of its average daily range. And it has a 23% chance to go to this level, 150% of its average daily range. And so on and so on. 12% chance to get to here, 6% chance to get to 200%, and only a 3% chance of going to 225%. It's just an interesting number to look at, you know. So it kind of puts it in perspective for you to respect the levels as targets. Because our brains need context in order to understand cognitively how to process this information. So the more context we have, the better we'll understand it. So therefore, by putting this on there, it lets your brain know, oh, okay, well, man, this is pretty. I mean, we went 100% of the average daily range, and we've got a 42% chance of going to here. So if it does go here, oh man, I better really be tight on my stop, because this thing really might reverse from here. You know, so context. In order to process information cognitively, we need context, and we have to see that information on the chart. And it's very interesting. It's very interesting how our brains react to that information. So that is the theory. So now imagine you're in an extended trend. Let's say you're in like the 7th wave of a trend, and you're coming up on that first ADR level, and you look left and you're in a high time frame supply zone. Whoa, like information stacked on top of information there for some kind of trend reversal. You start looking for that, and you've got yourself a very powerful, you have a very good chance of taking a small risk with a ton of asymmetrical leverage, right? There would be, think about the asymmetrical leverage on an extended trend inside of a supply zone. And, you know, you're right in between two ADR checkpoints. I mean, look at this thing. You know, where's it going to stop? We don't know, but we have checkpoints. We have an idea, right? So let's take a look here. As of today, right, we've hit that ADR checkpoint. Let's go out. Let's see here. Let's go out to the 3-hour chart. Interesting. Wow, look at that rejection candle. Very powerful. So on this 3-hour chart, if we look left, we broke through all of this and this. We did make we did break structure here. We did break structure here, right? Drop base drop, 3-hour chart, drop base drop, make that red. I'm not saying to go short here, guys. We're looking for, this is just observation, right? Let's encompass that second ADR checkpoint. Okay, and then, I mean, look at the craziness of, okay, so this is like a sideways movement here. There's a bunch of sellers up in here from this thing. Bunch of sellers up in here. Didn't even reach that point. And we still have all of this, right? Drop base drop, second ADR checkpoint. We're very early in this trend. We're very early in this trend. See how it gives you, it just makes the charts more visual. Reference. What would we consider this? I mean, let's go to the 4-hour chart here. All right, it's also this is a 4-hour drop base drop. That's a 4-hour drop base drop right there. We're in the curve. We're in the curve for sure. We are in the curve zone. From here to here. All right. So you can see this is such a powerful move. I remember when I first started, I would look at something like this, and I didn't know about, ADR checkpoints or anything. But I would, you would take like, oh, I'll take a little chance, on this. I mean, I guess you could, but you've got everything sort of against you, don't you? You don't know how high this is going to go. I mean, look at this. This really looks like some kind of this is news. This is people going crazy. And what usually happens in this situation? You get something like this, right? You get something like this. It comes up here and it just runs away back down to here and then follows that path to the upside again under like a normal pace. Yeah. So what would that cost? I mean, it is, what would we look for? 4-hour, 1 hour. What we would look for here on that 5-minute chart, right? We would look for, there we go. We're almost there. We're almost at that. Right? What comes next? We got to break through that. That's what we would wait for. Right there. We wait for that pattern on the low time frame. And if it gives it to us nice and clean, if it gives us a clean pattern like that, well, then we can start looking for those TrendCloud signals, or we can start looking for some type of retest and the move down, right? The retest would take place after we break through this structure here. It might be up in here somewhere, right? That's what we would look for. Very good lesson. Really good, exciting stuff today. Exciting stuff. Took 2 off right in the curve. Gary took 2 off in the curve now and letting last one run. Stop loss, trailing the last candle. Beautiful. Beautiful. You don't know how high it's going to go, right? You don't know how high it's going to go. So so we're in that curve, and we are starting to pull back. Where's this going to pull back to? Not sure. Not entirely sure yet. It could do some crazy wonky stuff, right? It can do some wonky stuff, which is why we don't want to, just go short it up in here. So that is it. All right. There we go. Interesting. We'll see what happens there. Well, really good job today, guys. Good job. I'm going to go and prepare for Brandon's meeting, the big podcast tomorrow at 1:00 with Brandon. We're going to have a good time having a chat. And then today, I am so excited to talk to the programmer. So excited to talk to the programmer about automating this system for us so that we can let this thing just run. And Gary here can make his $300 or so. Beautiful job, Gary. Very nice. Pulled back, stopped you out, $258. Beautiful. So imagine that working for you 24/7. Powerful. Powerful. Frank can't wait. Frank's going to be using TrendCloud. He's going to use the automated system. He's going to buy. Frank is really big into muscle cars. That right there is a 69 Camaro, and it is a beast. He's going to buy some nitro, or he's got nitro in it now, actually. It's going to, I mean, it's really going to be something. So to take a system like this and just have it work 24/7 for you, 2:00 in the morning, 4:00 in the morning, whatever. That's what, and we have the technology to do it. So we'll have a great conversation today about that. I will let you guys know how that goes. And then tomorrow at 1:00, we'll have a great conversation with Brandon, and we'll talk to him about CMT and his experience. We're going to show him TrendCloud, see if we can blow his mind with TrendCloud, and I'm sure he's going to show us some stuff, and it'll be a great learning experience, I think, for everybody. So, all right, guys. Well, that's it for today. Great job, everyone, using TrendCloud. You guys are really coming along with it. And I will see everybody back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then hopefully you guys will be able to join around 1:00, but everything will be recorded. Okay. All right, guys. I will see everybody tomorrow. Take care, everyone.